Our next speaker understands this in her bones. Heather has watched her daughter Harper battle cancer and find her place on the Duke softball team as a team impact teammate. Heather knows, as I know, and as all of you know, that the most important victories happen off the field. Please turn your attention to a short video as we welcome a fellow warrior mom, Heather, and her incredible daughter, Harper.
Tonight, after 846 days, Harper has officially completed treatment. Harper, are you ready? Yes!
I have learned bravery and courage and showing up for each other. They showed up for me so many times.
Having Harper with us has been a blessing. She is such a light to all of us that we can look up to every single day.
Let's see what you got.
Harper is an inspiration to everyone who's been lucky enough to be a part of her life.
We couldn't ask for a better teammate and friend to have part of the Duke softball family. Let's give a hand for Harper.
We love you, Harper!
Wow, I think it's generally poor form to cry right before you go on stage. It's a beautiful video. Sorry. When Harper was younger, she was the picture of joy, pure, unfiltered joy. She was an energetic, compassionate, and inquisitive little girl. She made friends easily, both at school and in our neighborhood, and was always looking for ways to help others. Creative, kind, and full of life, she was in every way a sweet mama's girl. And I never thought to ask myself how or why anything would ever stop that. But years later, through the most unexpected path, we would come to understand something even more powerful: happiness rediscovered. At the beginning of 3rd grade, Harper returned to in-person school for the first time since the pandemic lockdowns, which had kept her home since 1st grade. I knew an adjustment would take place, like every other kid, but something just wasn't right. She was unusually lethargic, complained frequently of headaches, random bone pain, and became increasingly emotional and withdrawn. It was a sharp contrast to her usual self. We visited the pediatrician, who initially attributed her symptom to the stresses that many students were experiencing with the return to school: fatigue, mask discomfort, and emotional overwhelm. We were told to give her rest and time, but a week later, she was still not herself, sleeping every afternoon, looking pale and clearly unwell. A second visit to the pediatrician resulted in a diagnosis of a minor inner ear infection, and she was prescribed antibiotics. Soon after that, we left for a long-anticipated girls' trip to the beach. While we were there, I noticed something alarming: swollen glands throughout her body and unexplained bruising. My gut told me that something was terribly wrong. As soon as we returned home on Sunday night, I contacted Harper's long-standing GI team at Duke Children's. They'd known her since infancy. They listened, trusted my instincts, and immediately ordered lab work. Within 48 hours, we had our answer. Harper was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. I'll never forget the moment Dr. Van Mater and Chelsea, our nurse practitioner, told us that Harper had cancer. She was sitting on my lap, facing the doctor with her back to me. As they gently delivered the news to us, Harper began to cry. I did too, but she couldn't see me. She asked if her hair was going to fall out. Then she asked if she was going to die. I've never felt so helpless. That moment felt a lot like being caught in the ocean, tossed unexpectedly by a wave, pulled under and disoriented. I didn't know which way was up or down. I was tumbling, desperate for air, looking for solid ground and a glimpse of light. How and why was this happening to my daughter? There was no answer. It was all a blur, and yet somehow every detail remains vivid. In this case, both things are true. At this point in our journey, so much of life after Harper's diagnosis feels like a blur. With nearly 2.5 years of treatment, marked by countless hospitalizations and clinic visits, it's hard to separate one phase from the next. We'll never be able to determine why this terrible disease came barreling into our lives, but through it we found something that did have purpose for Harper and our family: Team Impact and the Duke softball team. Just a few months into treatment, we were introduced to the idea of Team Impact. We were genuinely excited about the opportunity. Though Harper was a bit hesitant at first, she hadn't yet found her footing in sports. And I think she initially believed she needed to be both interested in and skilled at the sport she was paired with. Once we cleared up that misconception and got over that hurdle, we were absolutely thrilled to learn that she would be joining the Duke softball team. We were at a very difficult point in our lives, and this opportunity felt like a pathway to rediscover connection and happiness. After we got matched, we got assigned one of Team Impact's case managers, Laura. Laura's warmth, patience, and intentionality wrapped around us immediately. She asked me what my goals were for Harper through this experience and proved before we even met our team that this program was going to be something special. And then came signing day. It was incredibly special. We didn't really know what to expect, though we'd been told there'd be a ceremony, but nothing could have prepared us for the comfort, joy, and energy that greeted us when we walked into Scharf Hall on Duke's campus. The team had gone all out. There was a custom banner behind the signing table, and every detail made the moment feel official, meaningful, and deeply, deeply personal. Harper's dad and I were both blown away, not just by the thoughtful planning, but by the time, heart, and emotion that everyone poured into welcoming Harper into their circle. It was a beautiful introduction to an amazing group of extraordinary young women and to the caring adults that lead and support them. When not much else in our world at the time made sense, this did. That day, and so many since, gave us glimpses of something that we hadn't seen in a long time: Harper's light, her laughter, and her spark. One of the most remarkable aspects of our relationship with Team Impact and the Duke softball team has been how naturally and completely Harper was woven into the fabric of the team's culture. Right after her signing day, Harper received stacks of handwritten notes, messages of encouragement and love from her new teammates. Over the years, we've continued to find surprise envelopes full of letters in our mailbox, especially around major treatment milestones or really tough days. The team always seemed to know just when Harper needed a boost. She receives texts from the players, shared laughs, and made memories during team events. There's been bowling nights, kickoff dinners with the team, and countless home games where Harper was treated like one of their own. So many of these moments might seem or sound ordinary, but when we were in and out of the hospital, physically and mentally drained, the Duke softball team was there, not asking what we needed to eat, not trying to schedule an appointment. They were just there. It was simple, but profound. Their presence in our life had so much purpose because Harper could just be Harper. She's taken on so many roles with the team. She's been a guest PA announcer, thrown out the first pitch during multiple strikeout cancer games. cheered from the dugout, and even served as the team's Batgirl. She's invited friends to join her, attended end-of-season awards banquets, and one of the most unforgettable moments, she received a champion ring right alongside the players after their title win. That moment of being honored as a part of the team's success meant everything. The connections go beyond game day. We've had informal ice cream dates, quiet moments of connection, thanks in part to living so close to campus. One of the most meaningful of those moments came shortly before Harper's end of treatment bell ringing. The team gathered with her for ice cream to celebrate, just before they left for a spring tournament in Mexico. It was heartfelt, joyful, and Harper and I both felt so loved. We thought that that was the celebration, but then, during a Duke men's basketball game at Cameron Indoor Stadium, Harper was surprised with a bell-ringing ceremony at center court during a timeout. And just when we thought the moment couldn't get any bigger or any better, the Jumbotron lit up with a video message from the entire Duke softball team. From thousands of miles away, they congratulated Harper, told her how proud they were of her, and said they hoped to hear that bell ring all the way in Mexico. She tried her best. There's a photo from that night, I hope they're showing it, of Harper beaming, blowing kisses to the screen, overwhelmed with joy. That pure, unfiltered joy that she had before her diagnosis. That image will live with us forever. It captured not just a moment, but a bond between a brave little girl and a team of extraordinary young women who made her feel like she belonged. Through pain, purpose, and presence, we found something we could have lost: connection and happiness rediscovered. I'll never know why my daughter had cancer. It's never a gift to see your child go through something like that, but I'm so thankful for Team Impact, for its purpose in our lives during that time, and how the joy it brought with us will stick with us forever.
Thank you, Mom, for sharing our story. Hi. As my mom mentioned, it was hard for me to envision what Team Impact would actually be like. I wasn't that into sports. I didn't know much about softball. When I got sick, there was lots of people coming in and out of our lives. I wasn't sure what I was missing, but I wanted to learn more. And then I got matched with the Duke softball team. At my signing day, I felt so special. A whole group of cool older friends were excited to meet me. They opened the door and showed up for me that day, and never let it close behind them. They left notes in my mailbox, called, texted, visited, and invited me to do everything with them. Even on the hard days, I knew I had my Duke friends. I didn't have to worry about anything with them. They treated me like any other teammate. My favorite moment was when the team arrived to meet me at the Duke Cancer Institute's 50th anniversary gala to cheer me on before I went on stage, like my own personal paparazzi. They were showing up for me in every corner of my life, and I felt beautiful and loved. If I could tell another child and family that are thinking about joining Team Impact, I'd tell them go for it. You'll have the most fun ever. The team will be so welcoming, and your team will love you so much. If you're worried it won't be fun, I promise it will. Your teammates love you. They'll be your second home. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight. Please continue to support Team Impact so kids like me on the good days and hard days can be a part of a team. Because Team Impact showed up, because Duke softball showed up, I know that I'm a member of the team for the rest of my life. Go Blue Devils!